When Alexander Elliot finds a mysterious sword at a construction site, he and his good friend Betters Veer begin discussing whether or not this is actually Excalibur, the fabled sword of King Arthur. Naturally, the two just laugh it off, only to have it become all too real the next day when a kid who acts surprisingly a lot like Merlin shows up. When Merlin explains to Alex and Betters that the evil Morgana is planning to return to Earth and take it over, the two must also enlist the aid of bullies Lance and Kay. Together, the four must journey to the entrance of the underworld in order to take down Morgana, or if all else fails, raise an army to stop her assault on the surface world. This is The Kid Who Would Be King. So, yeah. Sorry this is a little later than usual. They did not do a Thursday preview screening for this film. It only came out on Friday, so I am having to do this on a Friday evening instead of a Thursday evening like I normally do. And that has thrown a bit of a wrench into things, but that's a little beside the point. As for my thoughts on The Kid Who Would Be King, this is a pretty darn good film. It's not spectacular, it's not earth-shattering by any stretch of the imagination, but it's reasonably enjoyable. It's, for the most part, pretty family-friendly. There's some weird jokes because when Merlin transports from wherever he is to the Earth realm, he forgets to bring his clothes along with him, and so there's some jokes about nudity and breeze through the nether regions and stuff of that nature. But other than that, it's pretty tame though, for the most part. And overall, there's some pretty good characterization throughout all this. Like the bullies don't change at first. Like as soon as they're enlisted, like they're kind of just going along with the flow. In fact, Lance is actually plotting to steal Excalibur a lot. Kay is described as being callow. She's basically a little too afraid to admit that maybe what she's doing is wrong sometimes. And of course, there's the joke about her being in her learning to drive via Mario Kart. Other than that, though, you obviously have Merlin. Then Merlin is in the guise of a 16-year-old boy, though his actual body is that of Patrick Stewart. And so yeah, you get some comedy in there. You get some pretty straightforward pathos in this because part of the motif is, again, Alexander, or Alex, as he's known throughout most of the film, is, he's obviously, the idea is he's Arthur reincarnate, but he thinks because Arthur owed so much to Uther Pendragon, his father, that, oh, I need to find my father who's been missing for a long time. It turns out, though, that his father was an alcoholic and, basically completely disowned his son. In this book of the Arthurian knights or Arthurian lore that he had gotten from his dad, was actually from his mom, and that she'd signed the book. Funny thing, you think someone would have tipped him off along the way. Actually, Uther is not a good character. He's not like wise and noble or anything of that nature. Like he gives the facade of being it, but he's really not in the original Arthurian lore. That being said, they also do kind of bungle the Arthurian lore a little bit. Excalibur is not the sword and the stone; those are two different swords. Morgana is said to be Arthur's half-sister. That is not true. Morgause is Arthur's half-sister. Morgana, or Morgan Le Fay, that's a completely different character who's the antithesis to Arthur. Morgause, who's the mother of Mordred, and let's not even get into the shenanigans there. Yeah, that again, those are two different characters. But other than that, for the most part, they do hold pretty firm. They talk about the island of Cornwall where Arthur was supposedly born. I'm trying to think what it's called now. Antigen Island? Oh, just a sec. Titagen, my mistake. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of weird other things too, like the sword has Latin on it. I don't understand why it would have that. Latin was not native in that to Britain in that time frame, so why would it have Latin scribbled on it? Now, granted, I know that that ancient British text does not exactly have a written tongue to it, but still. Let's see. Like I said, overall, it's pretty good. It kind of goes along. It goes along. There's some funny bits between the characters and stuff. It's really more of a character piece than it is the story, because the story is just pretty straightforward. I mean, they eventually come together. They defeat Morgana. Then it turns out they didn't defeat Morgana. They have to enlist all the kids in the school. And the way they do that is, of course, have Merlin hypnotize the teacher, and have the teacher announce that if they fight in the army, they get the day off of school. And so that's the way it is. The big thing that's bringing Morgana back is, well, there's a bunch of big things. It's the idea of, we're not treating the Earth right. You have climate change, all the political unrest. By and large, it's not really a good time to try to be a good person. And also, there's this eclipse coming in 4 days, and Merlin thought he had actually had 4 years, but that's kind of how that comes to pass. Like I said, eventually they kill Morgana. They send her into another realm where she can't come back, and they return Excalibur to the Lady of the Lake. There's a bunch of jokes with the Lady of the Lake. Also, Alex had to make peace with his mother, because the idea is to truly defeat evil, you have to subscribe to the code of chivalry. You can't swear, you can't be petty and spiteful in your actions, and you have to trust your loved ones. I think was the other one. I can't remember. Unfortunately, it went by a little too fast. But like I said, overall, it's a nice little decent character piece. It's definitely the best movie of January, though that's not saying much, unfortunately. But like I said, it's a good film. If you watch it, you will enjoy it. If it comes on to Netflix, if you don't want to see it in the theater, it's good, it's fun. It's not really effects heavy at all. So I'm going to give The Kid Who Would Be King a B.
Hey, Dennis Conner, where can I see the America's Cup?
In your face.
ESPN is the one network where great sports are always
in your face.
ESPN, your face.
Okay, trailer time, and this time we have a little bit better mix, I'd say, of trailers. We also have some new trailers popping up. Obviously, when you open the year with 3 fairly adult, or, well, not exactly family-friendly films, you're not going to get the same type of trailers that you would for a family-friendly film like this one is. But overall, we had Dumbo again, then Spider-Man Far From Home, then A Dog's Journey, which is not A Dog's Way Home. That's a completely different film. This is the sequel to A Dog's Purpose, and it just really looked bad. And it's something I'm probably going to have to endure every time I see a family film between now and May. After that, we had Wonder Park again, Lego Movie 2 again, then X-Men Dark Phoenix, and then last we had Breakthrough, which is this faith-based movie about a kid who falls through some ice and he gets trapped under it for more than 15 minutes, and he should be dead, but he somehow lives, and miracles happen. Okay, so like I said before, because everything got kind of thrown a little bit out of whack than usual, this should still hopefully be going up on Friday. Almost immediately after I think I upload this, I'm going to need to start editing the random trade review on ForceWorks. It's going to be a long one. I'm going to try to get that up on Saturday, because I don't really want to have to upload 2 videos on Sunday, because the next video after that is going to be the recap and review for NXT TakeOver Phoenix. So, and then after that will be the Royal Rumble review. That in all likelihood will be up on Monday no matter what. ForceWorks I'm going to try to get it up on Saturday afternoon into evening, somewhere in that time frame. But other than that, like I said, and then Sunday morning I will put NXT TakeOver Phoenix. So, see you all next time. Hey guys, check out my Patreon and see how you can request a movie for me to review, even if it's some stinker like A Dog's Way Home or the Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Also, if you like what you see, give the video a like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to ring that notification bell.